Look, there's a possibility we might all finish this conversation dumber than when we started it. But I want to talk about Kim Kardashian. Not to bury or praise her, but to understand her. People who say she's famous for nothing have it all wrong. We once at Gruen called Ricky Ponting the Endorsinator, but he's a wind-up toy next to her cyborg. The Kardashian family brand turned over more than $70 million last year. Kim cashing in advertises or endorses weight loss supplements, jewellery, shoes, perfumes, lollipops, liqueurs, tanning creams, skincare products, watches, candles, laser hair removal, teeth whitening pens, workout tapes, and even salads.
Everything's gotta be clean, crisp, and tasty.
Who said salads can't be hot?
That's actually why the marriage broke up. She kept leaving soggy chicken in the bath. She also launched a debit card last year to, quote, teach people about money. But it was yanked because what it was really teaching was that some cards have exorbitant fees. Russell, is there anything she couldn't spruik?
Just think of any high-quality brand that genuinely costs you a lot of money to purchase. They wouldn't go anywhere near having her as their spokesperson.
I reckon she'd struggle with marriage counselling.
Yeah.
I think any kind of product that's designed to be around for a long time after her marriage would be a problem. So long life milk, that's difficult. You know, any movie with Kevin Costner in it, you know, or the concise edition of the speeches of Rob Oakeshott. You know,
This is a woman who became famous in 2007 because of a sex tape.
Kim Kardashian putting on her makeup, y'all, for the big scene.
You silly.
For everyone that thinks my boobs are fake, they're real.
Finally, I can say that I only watched it for work. Kardashian claimed the tape was leaked, conveniently, just in time to publicise her new reality show. In case anyone missed the point, she then posed for Playboy, porn as publicity. Susie, what does that say about the media world we live in?
We're trashy. That's what's happened. We've become trashy, and so has the news, because she's a news story, and also because it's now on the internet and it's viral and it races and somebody's a superstar for, you know, it used to be 15 minutes of fame. This is a person who wants 15 years and will keep reinventing herself.
It is outrageous, though, to think that someone who wants to be famous could go to a publicist or an advisor and they say, how do I get myself famous? And then the first thing on the checklist is, well, you could do porn.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Vernon Troyer, Mini-Me, tried it. That didn't work for him.
Oh, it worked for Paris Hilton. It worked for Mimi McPherson. That was a long time ago.
But I would hope that it's one of the. It's a strategy which is fashionable, perhaps for a few, but hopefully not for everyone.
Cold Hard Kardashian now has 10 million followers on Twitter and is said to charge up to $25,000 for a one-sentence tweet about your product. To show up at your club or event, she demands a reported $150,000 an hour. Wherever she goes, she's surrounded by media frenzy. Check out her arrival in Sydney last week. And her fans are just as rowdy.
It was the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. Oh my God, I love you.
That's just everything that's wrong with everything. That was before she healed the lepers. Why is she so popular? Todd, what need does she answer in us?
Kim actually described it best. She was asked in an interview, why is your brand so successful? And after being confused by the notion of question and answer, she then said, which I think was quite insightful, she said, I'm relatable. And that's what she is. She's relatable. She's possibility.
What is interesting, though, is she is beyond brand. It's not the Kardashian brand. She's actually a media. Yeah. So that to me, this is a whole new level where it's just not the endorser brand. She herself is, if you like, Kardashian TV or Kardashian social media. It's Kardashian as a media enterprise.
Yeah, if you put that together, Julia Roberts, Tom Cruise, they together haven't equaled what she earned last year.
Well, they're celebrities. She's more sort of plebebrity, isn't she?
But is that her appeal? Her appeal is that, like in the old days, people were intimidated by celebrity because they thought you had to have some sort of talent to be a celebrity. But now they're like, well, she's got no talent, in fact, I could be a celebrity.
That's right.
In fact, there was a survey in the States just recently, a couple of years ago, which found that 31% of teenagers believe they'll be famous. And she... That's right. Demonstrates it's possible.
Kardashian's Aussie trip was destined to be messy. She filed for divorce from Kris Humphries after 72 days of marriage. Oh, well, they gave it a crack. Instead of grieving, she flew to Australia, staying for 2 of a planned 5 days, making 3 public appearances to sell handbags and doing interviews. 10's Evening News, 7's Sunrise, and Kyle and Jackie O. When asked about her divorce, she responded,
I mean, I don't really think I'm ready to get into all the details of it.
You know, I don't think I'm ready to, like, get into the details of it.
I mean, I don't think that I'm really ready to go into, the details of really what went on.
I don't think she was ready to go into the details. Her stonewalling led to the accusation she was saving the emotion for her TV show or for the highest bidder back home. Toby, in PR terms, would it have been better for her to have a little bit of a sob?
If her marriage was worth $250,000 a day, which it was to her, sobbing about the breakdown of it, it's got to be worth 5 or 10 mil. Now, you don't give that away to Angela Bishop.
Well, she's...
Kim and Courtney Take New York is launching this month, so I would imagine she will have that will be a little bit of the show.
Yes.
Todd, you have either researched a lot for this show or you know too much about the Kardashians. Remember, guys, Kim and Chloe Take New York is coming up.
It's my favourite show.
It felt eerily like the same interview 3 times. All 3 Aussie interviewers bravely followed up by asking whether her marriage was a stunt. No, apparently. Before turning to something she was ready to get into the details of.
Our Kardashian collection handbag launch.
The Kardashian collection handbags.
And the Kardashian collection, but it's 3 different designers technically.
Yes, her handbag is much like Kim herself, empty and ready to be filled with cash. Susie, would it have been a coincidence that they seemed to follow the same script?
All those questions would have been provided. They would have been screened, written by somebody else, probably written months ago, just in case there was a divorce. And they also would have picked those particular interviews. And they would have probably had to sign an agreement to say, we will only ask these questions and nothing else.
I think it shows how absurd the world is. Kris Humphries, it was just in the press, that Kris Humphries, her ex, has hired a publicist to help him get through the divorce.
Not a marriage counsellor.
How weird has the world become?
Winding back to the wedding, it was reported that Trailer Trashian scored $17.9 million for the broadcast and print rights. And that's not counting the contra deals and product placements. Russell, if you're Vera Wang and you donated $60,000 worth of wedding dress, how pissed off would you be that the marriage was over before you could even get copies into the stores?
Not at all. I mean, this is... Any publicity is good publicity. She's very famous anyway. And it's probably not about the dress, the sales of the dress. It's just the building of her brand. I don't think you'd be upset about it at all.
And they're rerunning all those wedding shots again, so the dress is getting more exposure and more exposure every time they mention her.
I think if I was Vera, I'd be more upset that my surname was Wang.
Someone definitely acting pissed off is Swiss Vitamins brand manager Mitch Catlin, who booked Kardashian for a Saturday appearance at Flemington. Catlin maintained that until Thursday afternoon there had been not one indication that she was not coming to Melbourne. Obviously, he missed 10's interview the day before, in which Kim's sister Chloe explained they would only be here Wednesday and Thursday.
We're only here for 2 days, but, we're a very supportive family, so we're all here.
Chloe's like Ringo. Where do you want to go, Kim? I'll come. I have no idea who she is. I had to learn about all these people. I thought it was Meatloaf. Toby, what chance Mitch was just milking the situation for as much publicity and sympathy as possible?
It would have been Christmas for Mitch. It was a bigger story that she didn't come than she did. He didn't have to pay all that money. He didn't have to make conversation with her. Think of all the sausage rolls they saved on Chloe.
Yeah, it's right.
Well, it shows, the thing about what she chose to do and not do when she came here just shows how much of a ruthless business woman that she actually is, because her excuse for coming off the back of her divorce was that she didn't want to let anyone down. She had made commitments in Australia and she wanted to follow through with those commitments. But there were only some commitments that she was going to follow through on, and those commitments were those that were directly related to the sale of the bag.
Of course, if you want publicity bang for your buck, there's only one question you should ask. What would Putin do? Last week, Kardashian dressed as Batman villain Poison Ivy for Halloween. Whatever. Anyone could do that. In May, Putin actually became a superhero with the launch of his very own comic, Super Putin. Issue 1 plagiarised the movie Speed, with Putin stopping a runaway bus sabotaged by his political enemies. Beat that, Kim.